Hello again. If our child's extreme behaviour is being caused by anxiety, it's only by understanding what might be causing their anxieties that we can really begin to be able to help our child become happier. Because that's what it's really all about. Happy children are very rarely violent or destructive. There are lots of things that can cause anxiety in children with an additional need. And in this video, we're going to be looking at sensory processing difficulties and how they can impact on a child. Children who have a neurodevelopmental condition such as autism, including PDA, ADHD or a learning disability, often have a sensory processing difficulty too. Now, we all know about the 5 best known senses: sight, smell, hearing, taste and touch. There are actually 3 more less well-known senses too. They're called proprioception, the vestibular system and interoception. If I explain them all fully here, this video would be far too long, but you can Google them to find out more and if they might be affecting your child's sense of safety and well-being. Although we understand the senses, we often underestimate just how important they really are. On the day you were born, you had no knowledge, understanding or experience of life. Yet 30 years later, you're likely to have been able to read and write very competently, speak at least one language fluently, hold down a job, maybe drive a car, and you're also very likely to be able to cook yourself a meal and dress yourself too with little or no help. You've probably got loads of other skills too and a wealth of knowledge, experience, memories and understanding. But how do we acquire all those skills and knowledge? Absolutely everything we learn as we grow up, we take on board because of our senses. We watch other people do things. We learn language and meaning by listening to other people talking. We learn what we like and what we dislike by smelling or tasting or touching. The more we learn through our senses about the world around us, the less frightening our environment becomes. We learn how to handle ourselves and whatever's going on around us fairly well most of the time. However, imagine what it must be like for a child who has a sensory processing impairment. If sounds or sights or taste, smells and touch is experienced either much more strongly or much less powerfully than it is by most other people, how must this impact on their overall understanding and experience of the world around them? If a sound that we have the ability to tune out is experienced by a child as being overpoweringly loud and incessant, of course it's going to cause anxiety. And it's the same with absolutely every other experience too. If a child's senses are either over or understimulated, it's going to impact on absolutely everything they learn and experience about the world around them. And that may mean that they find it harder to understand and to learn about life and everything that happens. And of course that can lead to real anxiety and fearfulness in some children. Never underestimate the effect that sensory processing issues may be having on your child. They're often very difficult to identify too, and every child will have their own unique sensory profile of what they find overwhelming or even underwhelming. Sensory issues can cause real distress and fear in many children. Yet there's a lot that we can do as parents to help once we understand what these difficulties are. Things like ear defenders or noise-cancelling headphones can make a huge difference, as can wearing sunglasses or having a quiet space in the house to withdraw into when things are just getting too much. There's loads more information online about all of this, and if you can, it can really help to get your child a sensory integration assessment by a specialist occupational therapist. Also look for signs from your child about what sensory input they may be struggling with. Maybe they cover their ears with their hands sometimes or shy away from certain situations. Maybe they really don't like wearing certain clothes because they don't like the feel of the material. Or if they won't eat certain foods, it may be because of the texture as well as the taste. If you can, build up a list of everything that your child seems to find difficulty. And from there you can then start to help your child find ways around them, either by avoiding certain things altogether or by finding strategies that will make it easier for your child to cope with. Hope that helps, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.